The signal came from the edge of known space. A simple distress beacon. Faint, weak, repeating on ancient subspace bands, the kind nobody used anymore. At first, the Galactic Rescue Council dismissed it. Some derelict, they said. Maybe pirates luring in a salvage team. But the signal persisted, and in its fractured bursts of static, one word could be made out in the old Terran tongue. Help. The Council debated for cycles. The source was deep inside the Virelli expanse, a region scarred by gravitational storms and radiation tides. No standard species could survive long there. Even automated drones burned out within hours. So the Council did what it always did when a task seemed suicidal. It forwarded the request to Earth Command. The humans answered in under an hour. No hesitation, no debate, just a simple reply. Coordinates received. Expeditionary Response Force en route. The aliens on the Council exchanged uneasy looks. They'd seen this before. When humanity answered an SOS, the results were unpredictable. 18 hours later, a ship appeared over the storm-torn world of Virel Prime, the UNS Acheron. It wasn't sleek or graceful like the Council fleets. It was a slab of metal plated like armor, engines screaming defiance against physics itself. Inside, a squad of humans, their skin marked with exposure tattoos from countless worlds, prepared for descent. Their commander, Captain Maeve Arden, checked her weapon seals. Her team moved with the quiet efficiency of predators. Thermal spikes in the atmosphere, storm density at lethal levels, the AI reported. Maeve grinned. Lethal to who? The drop pod slammed through clouds of burning plasma, cutting through the storm like meteors. Alien ships had never survived this descent. The air friction alone could melt hulls. But human tech was different. Crude, over-engineered, and practically unkillable. They hit the ground in a spray of molten glass. The world was chaos, winds that could tear skin from bone, lightning that danced sideways across the ground. And there, half buried in slag, was the origin of the SOS. A shattered alien transport, hull emblazoned with the crest of the Virelli Union. The survivors were barely conscious, insectoid beings, frail and translucent, wrapped in torn pressure membranes. Their leader, chittering weakly, managed to raise a limb. "Please, not pirates. Please, help us." Maeve knelt, sealing a nutrient line into their respirator. "You're safe now. Humanity got your signal." The alien's eyes widened. Humanity? It sounded like a prayer or a curse. Within hours, the humans stabilized the crash site, erected weather shields, and established comms. The aliens watched in stunned silence. Where their own engineers had perished trying to anchor field emitters, the humans moved with reckless, almost joyful defiance. When a lightning strike tore through a generator, the human tech simply cursed, grabbed a toolkit, and rebuilt it bare-handed. When acid rain fell, they laughed, threw up tarps, and kept working. Deathworlders didn't adapt to the environment. They forced the environment to adapt to them. By nightfall, the aliens had begun to realize the full scope of their rescuers. Every human bore scars, burns, claw marks, surgical grafts, and yet they joked, traded rations, and told stories of worse worlds than this. Maeve sat beside the Virelli commander, watching the lightning storms. "Why were you here?" she asked. The alien hesitated. "We were not explorers. We were fleeing. From who? Not who. What? They told her of the Devourers, a machine plague from the void between galaxies. Cold, precise, endless. They consumed matter and life alike, leaving only metallic ash. Their last transmission before the crash was the SOS, a desperate plea that anyone might hear. No one else had come. Maeve stood, eyes hard. They will now. 2 days later, the storm's edge flickered. The Devourers had found them. A horizon-wide swarm of blackened drones descended through the lightning, blotting out the stars. The Virelli huddled in terror. Maeve's team? They smiled. Finally, muttered one, something to shoot.
The first wave hit like a meteor strike. Humans fought shoulder to shoulder, plasma and railgun fire ripping through the metal tide. Each time a Devourer drone adapted, the humans counter-adapted faster, improvising, weaponizing scrap, overloading their own suits if it bought one more second. The aliens couldn't comprehend it. These creatures weren't soldiers. They were survivors, and survival for them was an art. When the line broke, Maeve triggered the failsafe. The Acheron's orbital reactors detonated, creating an artificial aurora that vaporized half the swarm. The humans didn't retreat. They advanced through the burning sky, pulling survivors from the wreckage. By dawn, the Devourers were gone. The ground was glass, and the humans, exhausted, blooded, smiling, were already packing up. The Virelli commander approached, trembling. Why? Why risk yourselves? You didn't know us. She shrugged. You asked for help. But no other species would have come. Yeah, that's why we did. When the humans left, the council received a new transmission, a single line encoded in every galactic frequency. To those who send for help, we hear you. And attached was a signature recognized across every military archive. Earth Response Command, Deathworld Priority Division. The council debated shutting it down. They feared what would happen when frightened species started calling for help they didn't understand. But it was too late, because by then, humanity's beacon had spread across half the galaxy. A warning, a promise. And somewhere in the darkness, when the next SOS went out, the stars themselves seemed to hesitate, because they all knew who might answer.